So come get ready with me. Put my makeup on in the car before work. Okay, hey YouTube fam. Here we are. I am sitting in the parking lot outside of the McDonald's. And sorry, like I said, my phone is in a whole different place because I took my phone holder out. I'm having a little caramel macchiato. I never can pronounce that right. My kids make fun of me all the time. I pronounce it like an old lady, I guess. I don't know. But anyways, that and then I needed a Diet Dr. Pepper, but for some reason the Diet Dr. Pepper was not on the app this morning. So I got a frozen Coke. It was so sweet. I'm sure it tastes amazing to other people, but to me, it's so sweet. So what I am doing, okay, so, gosh, I just dropped my makeup brush. You don't hate that. You have these wide gaps between your seats, and then stuff falls between them, and then I can't get my hands between them. So anyways, I'm gonna scooch all over here. Maybe this will help, I don't know. But anyways, I'm putting my makeup on because I'm going into work a little bit later this morning because I've got to stop at the insurance office and I've got some things to do with that. And anyways, so I purchased another car. So yes, yeah, the Prius is going. I hope this was not a stupid idea, but I really didn't need to purchase a new car. I just needed to pay this one off, but I still owed so much on it. And I was getting concerned because it is a 2016, and I was a little concerned about it kind of having problems. Of course, everybody says, oh, but it's a Toyota, it'll last forever. And I'm sure of that. So anyways, I ordered a car. I ordered it off Carvana, and I'm sure I'm probably going to get a lot of heck about it, but I went to a car lot a month or so ago, and I just hate dealing with car dealers. I'm sorry, and you know, and the car salesman, I knew who he was because he used to manage a store that I used to go to. So I absolutely loved him, and he was not very pressure, you know, he wasn't pressuring, and it was the managers, you know, the managers were probably, you know, in their late 20s, early 30s, and I'm not knocking their age, but I don't know, and you can just kind of tell when they're just, you know, they're just trying to make the sale, and I totally get that. I mean, I know I'm in the industry that, you know, you sell stuff, you got to make a living. I don't know. I just, you know, I done some stupid things, and I learned from my mistakes, and I thought, you know, and I did get turned upside down in this car. So I was been really pushing to pay it off, and I should have paid it off and just kept it. But I was just really not happy with this car. I was ready for something a little different. And I tell everybody, I said, well, that'll probably be the last car I own. This one I buy. I don't know. We'll see. So anyways, when I was at the dealership, I don't know, I just got really irritated at one of the managers that come over there, and he was showing me all these numbers, and he said, we can get you in this car for blah 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 blah, and he said, then you can finance your negative equity on top of it. And I said, look, I said, I totally understand where you're coming, but I said, I don't want to finance negative equity on this new car, on this next car. I said, I've done that. It's a stupid thing to do. I mean, not that I'm a Dave Ramsey fan, but that's just stupid. I mean, you know, but I know some of us do that because we want to get into a new area. And when I had my business, when I had my courier business, I really needed a more economical car. That's why I got this. I had a huge car payment. Still have a huge car payment. And anyways, so when I made that remark to that guy, I said, look, I'm not financing my negative equity because that's just really stupid. And I said, I'm not doing that again. I said, I can't. You know, I'm an older lady, and I said, I can't. And so I said, I just really need to think about this. So the young man, he's super cute. I will say, give him that. But I was sitting there and I was telling him, I said, look, I don't want to do this. I mean, he said, well, we can get you in this car, and you're, you know, okay, you know, he's telling me all the things that I needed to do, and how my Prius was not worth as much as he said I thought it was worth. And I said, I went to the bank, and I know what my car is worth and what the loan value is on it. So, you know, I'm not dumb. I know I'm not a blonde, but I'm not a dumb blonde. And so when I told him, I said, "Yeah, I'm just not going to do that. I just don't want to get into that again." And, and the negative equity wasn't going to be like a whole lot, but it's still going to bump that payment up there for 75 months. And now I think they do 84 months. So I just told him, I said, "No, I'm not going to do that." And he said, "Well, ma'am." And I said, "Yes." And of course, he's standing, and you know what? If I'd have stood next to him, I'd have still been taller than him. But he's standing there in front of me, and he goes, "Ma'am, I didn't get you into that mess. I'm trying to help you." You know, the mother in me wanted to just, I don't know. I just was like, "Would you talk to your mama like that?" Anyways, not that it was a bad, but I just, that you're trying to sell me a car, you're trying to get me to like you. You just really ticked me off in that moment. Well, anyways, so needless to say, that car dealership called me and called me and called me and like, "Oh, we want to," and and I've heard people say that particular car, which I think all car dealerships are slimy anyways. But again, we're all trying to make a living. People because, the salesman's got to make money, and they got to pay them, wisecracking managers, and then of course they've got to pay. I know, and I know people that work in the car dealerships. I mean, I totally respect it. But when you get our age, you just don't want people to just get in your face and tell you did something stupid. I know financing negative equity into this automobile for 2 other cars. I mean, I know that was just the stupidest thing. This guy just walked by my car, and he's looking at me thinking, "Who the heck? I wonder who she's talking to." I could be FaceTiming somebody. I don't know. Yeah, it's one of those. So yes, I'm going to get a new car. Not a new car. Newer car. I ordered it off of Carvana. A lot of people are probably going to go, "Oh my God, you said that was so stupid," because I have seen a lot of bad reviews about Carvana, and then I've heard a lot of good reviews. I purchased the car, and it's supposed to be here today, and they're delivering it to me. So that's pretty awesome too. Which, I mean, I'm sure a car dealership would have, but I didn't have to go. I knew what I wanted. I had all my stuff wrote down. I compared all my prices. I compared what I wanted and everything. I did my research, but I didn't have to go sit at a car lot for 4 hours. The last time I went to that car dealership to drive this particular car that I wanted, I sat there for 4 hours. I had just got off work, and I said, "I just want to test drive it. I don't want to." No, next thing I know, I was sitting in at the desk, and they were running numbers, and by that time I was just tired, and I was just like, I'm done. I'm done. Anyway, so I knew what I wanted, but I did do something stupid because I'm thinking, "Oh, my insurance will go up a little bit." It won't go up a lot, but I mean, I knew it'd go up a little. So my insurance company, State Farm, I can't stand them. And some people might like their State Farm, but I don't think it's so much the State Farm. I ain't going there. Anyways, so I called them the other day, and I said, "Look, I have a new car that's arrived." Not a new car. It's a 24. Is arriving on Thursday, and I need to make sure that I'm going to have insurance, because I was fixing to pay my insurance on this car, but I wanted, I knew I was going to have to pay a little more. So I wanted to make sure it's all. So my insurance on this car runs about $75 a month. Okay, that's full coverage. And anyways, so the girl I'm driving, pulled over, I'm sitting in a parking lot, and she goes, "Oh man, that's gonna be your insurance on this that I'm getting is gonna be $230 a month." Oh God, I made my phone move. 230, 200, not $2.30, $230 a month for this particular car for me. And again, I'm 59 years old. I've not had no tickets. I've not had any accidents. So I called several different insurance companies. Several different. I don't know. I've just not been real happy with them for a long time, and my house insurance has like really went up a lot. I mean, that's what's been going on in my life. And like I said, well, that's a big thing. Well, like I said, everything is going up. It's hard to live, you know. I mean, I work every day, and it's just hard. That's why I said I keep thinking maybe my YouTube career will take off, and then I can maybe not work so hard. Yeah, girl can dream, I guess. And I know insurance can be good things. I mean, I know people that have gotten insurance and done really well, but I don't know. I mean, there's been the thing that gripes me the most about my insurance is there's been like a couple of tornadoes that have went through my neighborhood. Okay, my house and my neighbor's house to the left of me, we have not ever got any damage from them two tornadoes, but everybody around us got major damage. So I mean, I was very fortunate, because that would have probably just pushed me over the edge. So anyways, we didn't get any damage, but since we didn't get damage, they, rate the whole area. And anyways, so then everybody's insurance went up in that area. So when I heard my insurance was going to go up again, and I was kind of on the in between of getting a new roof, I just went ahead and I thought, they're going to put a new roof on my house. Yep, I think they should, because they're going to more than charge me for insurance. Like I said, I know, but there's slimy people in all industries. I know that. I really do. I mean, yeah. So, anyways, I'm going to finish putting my makeup on, and I've got to be, the doors don't open till 9 o'clock for that place. And I'm going to go over there and get my insurance taken care of, and then I'm going to go to work and work today, and then my car, well, my newer car will be delivered tonight. Anyways, thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for listening to my rant. I don't try to make a living. I get it. If you work for a car dealership, I get it. We're all just trying to make a living. I don't know. I just couldn't do anything to slimy make somebody pay for more stuff. Anyways, all right, I'm going to finish this makeup, and then I'm going to go head over to that office, and I will see you soon. It's bad. That is cool. There she is, Miss America.